Good morning, all. My name is Dr. E. Purushottam. Today, I am going to start electrodynamics. So, in this electrodynamics, it has three parts. You can see here electrodynamics divided into three parts: electrostatics, magnetostatics, time varying electric and magnetic fields. Electric and magnetic fields. So, first one, introduction to electrostatics. So it divided into three parts: electrostatics, magnetostatics, time varying electric and magnetic fields. First one, electrostatics. So in this first one, electrostatics, discovery of electric energy. How can discovered this electric energy? Electric energy. First of all, Greek scientist. You see, so Greek scientist observed that amber stone. So the amber stone is rubbed with fur. What is fur? Soft hair of any animal like cat. Soft hair of animal. So first of all, Greek scientists observed that when amber stone rubbed with fur, soft hair of animal, is kept nearer to the small piece of papers or bits of papers, it is attracting the paper, attracting that paper pieces. Afterwards, another scientist, Gilbert, found that some other materials like glass, ebonite, phosphorus, etc. are also possessing same type of property. Same type of property. So a glass rod, ebonite rod, phosphorus rod also rubbed with fur. So these materials also attracting the materials. You can observe in your daily life comb. So it also attracting some piece of papers. So in the same way, the Greek scientist observed that amber stone rubbed with fur. This amber stone attracts some papers. Some papers. So in Greek language, amber means, in Greek language, amber means electron. Amber means electron. So the property possessed by amber stone is named as electric. Like this, electric energy is discovered. What I am saying, in Greek language, amber means electron. Amber means electron. Hence, the property possessed or required by amber stone is named as electric. Like this, electric energy is discovered. You can see here clearly. So first of all, Greek scientists observed that when amber stone, you see here, amber stone rubbed with fur, soft hair of animal, kept nearer to small pieces, small paper pieces or bits of papers, it is attracting the paper pieces. Afterwards, another scientist, Gilbert, found that the some materials, glass, ebonite, phosphorus, etc., are also possessed the same type of property. In Greek language, amber means electron. Thus, property is known as electric. Like this, electric energy is discovered. So, what is electrification? Definition. What is the definition of electrification? The process of producing some charge on a body is called electrification or charging by friction. It is also called charging by friction, electrification. The process of producing some charges on a body is called electrification. Electrification. So when two bodies are rubbed with each other, electrons transferred from one body to another body. So the body transferring electrons, it losing some electrons, losing body gets negative charge. So another body gaining the electrons, gaining body gets negative charge. Negative charge. The process of producing this negative charge and positive charge phenomena is called electrification or charging by friction. For example, let us take a glass rod. For example, this is a glass rod. This is a silk cloth. Silk cloth. The glass rod rubbed with the silk cloth. The electrons are transferred from glass rod to silk cloth. So this silk cloth gets negative charge. This glass rod gets positive charge. The process of producing these positive charges or negative charges on the body is called electrification. You can see here clearly. So this is the definition. The process of producing some charge on a body is called electrification, or it is also called charging by friction. It is also called charging by friction. So explanation, when two bodies are rubbed with each other, electrons transferred from one body to another body. Due to this transfer of electrons, the two bodies electrified. This process is known as charging by friction. When two bodies are rubbed with each other, the body which is gaining the electrons gets negative charge. Gaining the electrons, gaining, it gets negative charge. So losing the electrons, it gets positive charge. Positive charge. So example, when glass rod rubbed with silk cloth, electrons transferred from glass rod to silk cloth. Hence, glass rod gets positive charge and silk cloth gets negative charge. Electric charge is fundamentally associated with atomic particles like electrons, protons. Electrons carry negative charge and protons carry a positive charge. You studied in your intermediate. So law of electric charge. Like charges, for example, plus Q and plus Q. Between this plus Q and plus Q, some repulsive force. Repel. Repel. So this is repel force. Repel force between this positive charge and negative charge. So unlike charges attract with each other. So like charges repel with each other. This is law of electric charge. Conservation of charge. Charge can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one body to another body. Already we discussed the glass rod. The glass rod rubbed with the silk cloth. The electrons transferred from this glass rod to silk cloth. So this is glass rod. This is silk cloth. The charge can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one body to another body or other body. That is conservation of charge. Conservation of charge. Quantization of charge. The electron transferred from one body to another body in the form of a very small charge is called quantization. That charge is given by Q is equal to plus or minus Ne. So N is the number 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 electron, 2 electrons, 3 electrons are transferred. So that is number 1, 2, 3. E is the electron charge 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. Simply we can write 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. 19 coulombs. This is the quantization of charge. So Coulomb's law explanation. Coulomb's law and its explanation. So Coulomb's law explanation, for example, this is Q1 point charge. This is Q2 another point charge. So small r is the distance between 2 point charges. Capital F is the force of attraction or force of repulsion, that is electric force. F is the force of attraction or force of repulsion, that is called simply electric force. So consider 2-point charges Q1 and Q2 at rest, and they are separated by a distance small r. Let capital F is the electric force between them. So what is the statement? What is the definition? Statement. We can write here statement. The force of attraction or repulsion between 2-point charges is directly proportional to Q1, Q2. Directly proportional to directly proportional to product of 2-point charges Q1 and Q2, inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2 and inversely proportional to R square. R square. So that is the definition. The force of attraction or repulsion between 2-point charges is directly proportional to product of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them is called Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law. Again statement, the force of attraction or repulsion F between 2-point charges is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Okay. So consider consider 2-point charges Q1 and Q2 at rest and are separated by a small distance small r. Let F is the attractive or repulsive force between 2-point charges. So according to Coulomb's law, F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2, equation number 1, and also 1 by R square. This is equation 1 and 2. Statement you can see here. The force of attraction or repulsion between 2-point charges is directly proportional to product of these 2-point charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. And its direction is along the line joining the 2 charges. That is called Coulomb's law statement. Okay, consider 2-point charges Q1 and Q2 at rest and they are separated by a distance small r. Let F is the electric field, electric force between them. So the electric force is directly proportional to Q1 and Q2 and also inversely proportional to R square. From equation 1 and 2, we can write F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square. F is equal to K into Q1, Q2 by R square. This is the proportionality constant. So K is the proportionality constant or proportional constant. K value depends on nature of medium between the charges and the unit system. So K value proportional constant depends upon the medium of Q1 and Q2 and also that system, SI system or CGS system. So first one, I am taking any medium in SI system. First one. So this is first one. So in any medium in SI system, in any medium SI system, the constant is given by, proportional constant is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon, 1 by 4 pi epsilon. So just to substitute this K value in above equation at the place of K, so F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1, Q2 by R square. This is the epsilon is the absolute permittivity. So epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r. You can see here epsilon into epsilon r. Epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. That standard value is given by 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 coulomb square per Newton per meter square. Per Newton per meter square. Epsilon r is the relative permittivity or dielectric constant K. So substituting here, epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r. You can observe here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r. At the place of epsilon, we substituted here epsilon naught into epsilon r. Remaining same q1 q2 by r square. So up to here same. Second one, in air or vacuum medium in SI system. In air or vacuum, epsilon r is equal to 1. In air or medium, epsilon r is equal to 1. So substituting here, this is 1. 1. So we can write the same here. F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. q1 q2 by r square. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. You remember epsilon naught value, they will ask in exam point of view problems. So you remember this value, standard value. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value also you should remember here. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square for Coulomb square. Coulomb square. Third one, so in any medium in CGS system, K is equal to 1. So substitute here at the place of this value 1. So remaining Q1, Q2 by R square. R square. So you can see here in any medium SI system, this is the K value. Substituting here, we get this one. F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1, Q2 by R square. So epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r. This is the standard value of epsilon naught. Permittivity of free space 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton per meter square. So epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r. For air or vacuum, this is epsilon r is equal to 1. So F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. In any medium in CGS system, K is equal to 1. So substituting here at the place of K, here 1 into Q1 Q2 by R square. So F is equal to Q1 Q2 by that distance square. Some basic definitions in electrodynamics. So absolute permittivity is represented by epsilon. You know epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r. Definition simple, product of epsilon naught into epsilon r. The product of epsilon naught and epsilon r. So definition. The product of permittivity of free space and the relative permittivity is called absolute permittivity. Absolute permittivity. So from this relation, epsilon r is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. Epsilon r is the relative permittivity. So definition, the ratio between epsilon to the epsilon naught, that is called relative permittivity. The ratio between absolute permittivity to the permittivity of free space, it has no units and dimensions. So epsilon r is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. electric field. For example, this is the positive charge plus Q. So it has influencing region. That is the influencing region. The region around an electric charge where its influence is felt, that is called electric field. The influencing region or area around the positive charge, electric charge, that is called electric field. The influencing region or area around the electric charge, that is called electric field. Electric field. So electric field intensity represented by E. So it has two definitions. E is equal to F by Q naught. Another definition, E is equal to phi by A. E is equal to phi by A. So electric field intensity is represented by E. What is that definition? F by Q naught. The ratio between F and Q naught, or simple definition, the electric field intensity per unit positive charge, also called electric field intensity. What I am saying, electric force per unit charge. Electric force per unit charge. Electric force per unit charge is called electric field intensity. Another one, this is electric flux by area. Electric flux per unit area is also called electric field intensity. Two definitions. Electric force per unit positive charge is called electric field intensity. Electric flux per unit area is also called electric field intensity. So here SI unit, you can see force, simple Newton, charge, Coulomb. So unit Newton per Coulomb. Newton per Coulomb. Electric field intensity expression, it is not important for annual exam. Proof is not important. Note means not for exam. So here, this formula is very useful in problem purpose. It is very, very important. E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by R square. So expression for E, simply we can derive. According to Coulomb's law, we know very well this formula F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1, Q naught by R square. Simply F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1, Q2 by R square. At the place of Q, just Q, Q2, that is Q naught. That is equation number 1. But according to electric field intensity formula, E is equal to F by Q naught. At the place of F, just substitute this total value. Substituting here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1, Q2 by R square by Q naught. This Q naught gets cancelled. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. This is electric field intensity. Displacement vector. So it has two definitions. D is equal to Q by A. Second one, D is equal to epsilon into E or epsilon naught into E. Any definition, second one. So first definition, Q by A. Electric charge per unit area of the dielectric material is called displacement vector. D is equal to Q by A. Electric charge per unit area in dielectric material is called displacement vector, or the product of absolute permittivity and electric field intensity is called displacement vector. But you know very well, epsilon, at the place of epsilon, we can write epsilon naught into epsilon r, epsilon naught into epsilon r. But for air or vacuum, epsilon r is equal to 1. Substituting here, we get epsilon is equal to epsilon naught. So D is equal to epsilon naught into E. Another definition, the product of permittivity of free space and electric field intensity is called displacement vector. Charge per unit area is called displacement vector, or the product of epsilon into E, or product of epsilon naught and E. So this is a displacement vector. Electric potential. Electric potential. So electric potential is represented by V. This is W work done by Q naught positive charge. Work per unit positive charge is called electric potential. Electric potential. Or another definition, the amount of work done to bring a unit positive charge from infinity to a point in the electric field, that is also called electric potential. For example, this is the electric field region. This is a point A, point A. The unit positive charge has at infinity charge, infinity distance. From this infinity distance to in the region at a particular point A, you see, the amount of work done to bring a unit positive charge from infinity to a point in the electric field. We are taking this Q naught from infinity distance to at a particular point A. It gets some work. That work done is called electric potential. Electric potential. That is the electric potential. So potential difference. For example, this is the region. This is point A. This is point B. If we are moving this Q naught point charge from point A to point B, it gets some work. That work done is called potential difference. The amount of work done to move a unit positive charge from one point to another point within the electric field is called potential difference between 2 points. Just a definition, you remember, work per unit positive charge, W by Q naught. It is enough. Relation between electric potential, electric field intensity, and the distance. So V is equal to ED. You remember this formula only. V is equal to ED. Relation between V, E, and D. So that is V is equal to ED. Potential gradient. Potential gradient is represented by dV by dx. So dV is a change in potential. This is a change in distance. The ratio between change in potential to the change in distance is also called potential gradient, or the rate of change of potential with distance is called potential gradient. In homogeneous and uniform electric field, the potential gradient is given by dV by dx. Dx is the distance. So electromotive force, EMF, electromotive force. This is a positive terminal. This is a negative terminal. This is the open circuit. In the open circuit, the potential difference between two terminals in a cell or of a cell, that is called EMF, electromotive force. You can see the definition here. The potential difference between the two terminals of a cell in an open circuit, that is called electromotive force. Electromotive force. So this is positive charge, negative charge. This is a cell. This is the open circuit. So in this open circuit, the potential difference between two terminals of a cell, that is called electromotive force. That's all. So charge density is represented by rho. This is charge Q. This is the volume. Charge per unit volume is called charge density. Charge density. So these are the basic definitions. So first we learned what is that? permittivity, absolute permittivity. So absolute permittivity, the product of epsilon naught into epsilon r. Second one, we studied relative permittivity. So relative permittivity epsilon r is equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. Epsilon by epsilon naught. The ratio between absolute permittivity to the permittivity of free space. So third one, we studied electric field. Electric field. The influencing area of that particular region. So this is the influencing area from this positive charge. So fourth one, electric field intensity E. E is equal to F by Q naught or phi by A. We studied electric flux per unit area. Electric flux per unit area. So another one here, fifth one, potential. V is equal to W by Q naught. Sixth one, we studied EMF, electromotive force. Seventh one, what is that? Charge density. Electric flux. What is the definition of electric flux? Electric flux. You studied in your intermediate. Electric flux. The large number of magnetic lines of force. The magnetic lines of force are passing through the one second. Right. So this is the area of some material. This is magnetic lines of force are passing through the certain area of the material. That number of electric lines of force passing through unit area normal to a surface is called electric flux. Electric flux. So already I discussed here E is equal to phi by A. Electric field intensity definition, E is equal to phi by A. So electric flux per unit area. Electric flux per unit area is called electric field intensity. From this relation, E is phi is equal to E into A. You can see here. So electric flux represented by phi E. Electric flux is represented by phi E. Electric flux definition, the large number of or total number of or the number of electric lines of force are passing through the certain area of the material is called electric flux. So electric flux is given by phi E is equal to E into A, where E is the electric field intensity, A is the area. A is the area. So you see here, for example, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. So electric field E with an angle theta. You see here, when surface of unit area makes an angle with the direction of field. So this surface, it gets some angle theta. Along x-axis, we can write this is E cos theta. What about this? E sin theta. E sin theta. So phi E is equal to, you observe this formula, phi E is equal to E into A. E into A. Along x-axis, I am taking E cos theta. At the place of E, I am taking E cos theta. Substitute here. So phi E is equal to E cos theta into A. We can write here E cos theta into A. So you know very well A dot B is equal to mod A mod B cos theta. So A dot B. So here E A cos theta, what can we write here? E dot A. So I wrote here E dot A. So depending on dot product, A dot B is equal to mod A mod B cos theta. Similarly, E dot A, EA cos theta, or reverse, EA cos theta is equal to E dot A. E dot A, you can see here. Let E is the electric field. One second. For example, this is the surface. So this is a small part divided into small part, small area ds. This is another area ds. This is small area electric flux d phi. D phi. So let E is the electric field. ds is the element of area. Element of area. So for example, this is some surface. So it is some small area ds, that electric flux d phi. For example, if you want to take area, total area integral of ds, we can take total in area. If we get total phi, surface integral of d phi. This total surface integral of ds, we get total area. So if we want to get total electric flux, phi is equal to integral, surface integral of d phi. So at the place of this A, we are taking a small elemental surface area. So this is electric field into area. So small ds, same I am writing here. So phi is equal to E dot A. This is total. For a small part, d phi is equal to E into, this is ds. E into ds. So total phi is equal to surface integral of d phi. So substitute this d phi value here, we get this one. Phi is equal to surface integral of E dot ds. Surface integral of E dot ds. You remember this formula compulsory.